7 underdogs beat the odds. The historic upset for sportsbooks. Some players rise, others fall. So before Sunday, we need running back rankings for week 3 of the 2024 NFL season. Welcome to E&M Fantasy Football, where I combine industry-leading data, Vegas sportsbooks, and expert analysis to provide you with optimal weekly rankings for the utmost accuracy when setting your weekly lineups in your fantasy football leagues. I'm writing this on Tuesday night for Wednesday's video. Expect more videos later every week for the other unit groupings like wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end, as well as yesterday's waiver wire video. We start off the top 32 running backs for week 2, full PPR, with the premier pass-catching monsters / fantasy leaders, the S tier. At number 1, Alvin Kamara. I've seen enough. He leads the NFL for total yards at running back at 300. He's the undisputed king right now. He gets the Eagles, who are bottom 10 against the run so far. Lock him in. Saquon Barkley. I don't care that he dropped the pass to win the game on Monday. Just like in life, one moment doesn't discredit all of your effort. This man deserves to be top 5. I don't care that he's playing the Saints. Their run stop looks impressive, but that was because it was against Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. And at 3, Devon Achane. Look, everyone saw what happened to Tua. Dolphins are underdogs in their matchup with Seattle. That being said, he's going to be targeted a million times. Seattle just let the Pats put 150 rushing down. Achane is more talented and versatile. These 3 catch a ton of passes and lead the league in fantasy points per game. If you're lucky, you have one of them. And if not, the next tier has plenty of elite backs. Starting with Breece at 4. We're getting scavenged a bit in the backfield with work from Braylon Allen. Open a new tab, check the video if you don't know who that is. He faces the dreaded Patriots defense. Dropping him from the S tier and starting him off with the A tier is appropriate, though the Patriots have only faced Zach Moss and Zach Charbonnet. Jordan Mason at 5. At the Rams, who have allowed 197 rushing on average through week 2, and their offense is in shambles. Matchups, people, they're important. Lock Mason in. Bijan Robinson. He's at home against the Chiefs. It's a nice team total at 46. Atlanta are the underdogs by 3, and the Chiefs are league average against the run. They're going to have a hard time stopping Bijan. Ramondre Stevenson. He faces the Jets. I wonder if they're going to make Brissett throw the ball against Sauce Gardner or force a bottom 10 defense against the rush to stop the rush. Makes sense to me. Number 8, James Cook. It's a high-scoring game where they're heavily favored against Jacksonville. He's going to do just fine. They should be able to run the ball in the second half with the Jags looking pitiful on offense. Lock him in. At 9, start the next tier. These are the rest of the RB runs, but they have some caveats. Joe Mixon. He's at Minnesota. They're top 10 against the run. He's injured. It's hard to say what the Texans will do, but if he plays, I'd argue that he's one of their most important weapons. And what's more, they need him to produce so their receiving core can go to work. James Conner at 10. He faces the Lions, albeit at home in Arizona. It's currently the highest scoring game of the week, and even though the Lions are top 5 against the rush, I'm not sure they're going to be able to negate all that volume this guy gets. Combine that with Kyler's scrambles, this could be a big challenge for Detroit. And 11 to 12, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. This duo gets the Cardinals away from home, away from the Dome. I think in spite of the Arizona's 9th best run defense, the plan here doesn't change at all. The Lions are going to run the ball. The highest scoring game of the week. They'll have to rely on it heavily if they want to win. Your guess is as good as mine as who's going to get the TDs. It's kind of how it is. And at 13, ErvinandM.com. ErvinandM.com is my company my best friend and I started in 2020. We literally make everything ourselves by hand. We have earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, tie clips, apparel, and more. Over a dozen curated gemstones and 100 handcrafted products. If you need a gift, or something special for yourself, use the promo code in the description, find something you love, and buy it today. Now back to the video. And at 13, Tony Pollard. He's at home against Green Bay's 21st ranked run D. He's got good odds this game to put in 100 yards. Good matchup. Just a very low scoring total for these two, but we need to give Pollard some respect. He's been top 10 so far this season. And at 14, J.K. Dobbins. He's at Pittsburgh. He's amazing. Comeback player of the year. But this matchup is terrible. It's terrible for him. The Steelers have allowed 76 rushing yards on average to opposing backs. The implied team total for the Chargers is 16 points. Volume has got him there, and I think it'll get him here as well, but it's a little scary. Josh Jacobs at 15. They're at the Titans. Josh Jacobs has been putting in a lot of work, but it's the second lowest scoring game of the week. The Titans are favored at home. Their plan should be to force Willis to throw the ball. There's no shot they let Jacobs and him beat them on the line of scrimmage. And at 16, Brian Robinson. He's been outstanding for Washington. He has a soft run defense facing the Bengals. That being said, they are 8-point underdogs in this matchup, but he still earns the last spot in the tier. With the C tier, we have backs you can depend on, but they split a backfield or they have a really bad matchup. Anyone in this tier could finish top 15. However, the floor is low. Rachaad White started out at 17. His matchup is great against the Broncos. The only concern here is the point total and the fact that his backfield is split. He's also injured, though they aren't saying it's serious, but they never tell the truth. So, Jonathan Taylor's next. He's done well so far, but the Colts offense as a whole has a lot of volatility, and we'd be foolish to not apply that volatility to Taylor as well. We've seen it. Their matchup and the point total is okay against Chicago. They're top 13 against the run. He could finish top 10 or bottom 20, which is kind of the theme for this tier. Derrick Henry at 19. Same story as Jacobs. He's been fine. His matchup is fine against Dallas. The point total is nice at 49 points. But I'm concerned the Ravens trail for too long. We'll probably see Justice Hill cutting into his production given a negative game script. Travis Etienne. The trend continues. He's done okay. His matchup's okay against an average Buffalo run D, but they're slated for a negative game script as 5-point underdogs in Buffalo. Not great. Kyren Williams. This brings me great pain. This is not what you want out of a top RB in terms of ADP, but the Rams' injuries to their number 1 and 2 wide receivers and offensive line issues is inignorable. This is bad combination for run success. They're heavy underdog at plus 7.5 against the 12th best run D in the Niners. I don't know what to say. Aaron Jones. The volatility continues. I think the Texans are going to be hard-pressed to stop the Vikings' pass game. That being said, they are the 8th best at stopping the run. The Texans are underdogs at home. It's concerning. Walker III or Zach Charbonnet or whoever ends up playing. Seattle is in a really good spot against the Dolphins. Seattle's favored. Point total is low, though, and we don't really know what's going on with the running back or the health. Even if he returns, I'd expect a step back. That's why he's at the bottom of the tier. From here, though, it's a cliff. There are no more guarantees. For these guys, we're going to keep it simple and use Sportsbook's team totals to arrange the bottom 8. It gets brutal very quickly. Zach Moss, he's at home. He faces Washington. They're 8-point favorites, and their implied total for the Bengals is 28 points. Not bad. Not bad. Zeke Elliott, he's at home versus the Ravens. They're 1-point underdogs, but they have an implied team total of 25 points. Not too bad. Madison, he's at home against Carolina. They're 5-point favorites with a 23-point implied team total. It's okay. Jerome Ford, he's at home versus the Giants. They're 6-point favorites, but only 22 implied points for the total. It's okay. And Najee Harris at 28. They're at home versus the Chargers. 2-point favorites with a 19 implied team total. Not great. Not great at all. And at 29, DeAndre Swift. They're away versus the Colts. They're 1.5-point underdogs. Only 21 implied points for them. Not good. Not good at all. But from here, it's unstartable. Unstartable. RIP. Chuba Hubbard. They're away versus the Raiders. They're 5.5-point underdogs. And they're only slated for 16 points. That is very bad. The worst. Devin Singletary. They're away versus Cleveland. They're 6-point underdogs with, again, 16 implied points for the Giants. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And last, and all of these guys are the least, equally bad. Javonte Williams. They're away versus Tampa. They're 6.5-point underdogs with 16 points again for Denver. Sportsbooks thinks these three teams are going to just be the absolute worst. I hope you're not slotting anyone from the D or E tier. I sincerely hope this helps everyone watching. Comment below what you think of this week's rankings. Are you falling apart? Are you 2-0? Let me know. Thank you for your time. And if you want to support the channel so I can keep making videos like these, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see all the videos each week before submitting your lineups. It's free, so it's a good value. And if you want to support me, check out my store at ervinandm.com. I have two passions, fantasy football and small business. We're a two-man show at E&M. We take pride in the quality and craftsmanship of our products. There's no better way to support me than buying a gift or something special for yourself. Everything is handcrafted from limited stock here in North Carolina by me and my partner. We do it on our own, together, with our own hands. We ship anywhere in the U.S. Use the promo code in the description. Thanks again if you're still with me. That's the video. See you in the comments in the next video.